it's not that bad. So, alright. Now, what we're going to do is... Yep. Let's go ahead and hop into here and get these built. So, especially when you're dealing with heavy armor blocks, you're probably going to want some kind of welding ship. Even if it's just a small ship with 1 or 2 welders. I mean, I've only got 3 on this. But it makes it so much easier and faster. If you don't have one, you're going to be spending all day basically trying to get done what you want to do. So again, here I'm going to go around and I'm going to place these where I want them. And if I move it down there, if it's where I'm facing that's going to determine where it's placed. So if I come over to here, this is where I want it, and you just use the... currently I have the tooltips turned off. Let me go and turn those back on for you. So let me go into the options, game options. Currently I have all of the hints turned off. So let's go and hit OK. And now you'll see it's got this big text of hint, and it's got how to rotate in the upper right hand corner there. So it'll tell you what keys to use to rotate your blocks. I've been doing this long enough that I don't need it anymore, and it just seems to take up too much room. So there we go. Come on, I just turned you off. I know I did. Game. Oh, I didn't click OK. There we go. Alright, so now I've got those, and let's get these placed. Sometimes I wish these blocks would auto-rotate, but if they did and I couldn't manually change it, then it would just be a waste. So let's go ahead and get the rest of these done here. And I think when you see what the gunflower actually does, well, you know, I'm hoping you'll be kind of impressed. You know, it's pretty easy to impress yourself. It's when you're able to transfer that over to other people, and they can say, "Oh wow, you know, I like that idea. That's pretty cool." That's when you get the warm and fuzzy feeling that we all like. And so let's get this done here. And I do apologize if my my flying causes you any problems with being disoriented. There's nothing I can do about that. That's just the game. For me, it's occasionally my eyes feel a little bugged out, and that's just because I'll try and I'll move too quickly. And, you know, your field of view in a game is not the same as in real life. So a lot of what I'm doing is moving based upon more the memory of where things are. And like right there, I did not have to rotate myself, but I did because it makes it a little bit easier for me, and I would think for you guys watching to kind of see the way it fits in. So I do it just because it's sometimes easier with the perspective in a first-person view here to see what it is, and then be like, okay, so this is up, this is down, this is left, and this is right. And then right now I just want to make sure I got all of those. Yes. So now we're going to hop in here, and we're going to go ahead and get to some welding. And then in a moment here, we'll open up this gunflower so you can see it. And it looks like I've got about 30 minutes left to stream, just because I've got some other things that I have to do today. And you know, you can always go into a third-person view when you're welding here. Sometimes that can help, just so you can kind of see what you're doing a little bit better, especially when you're working in tight spaces. Sometimes you really need to be able to see in a certain direction, and so having the third-person view there is nice. I know there are some people that are complaining about, oh, you know, it's not realistic to have third-person view, especially when you're dealing with PvP, because people can see around things that they shouldn't be able to see around. I kind of understand that. At the same time, there's the flip side argument where people say, well, you know, this is in the future, so just think of it as some type of nano camera that floats around us. And then people say, oh, well, there's cameras in the games, you should use those instead of some type of mystical, magical future technology thing. But then at the same time, you have to realize that because it's a game, there are limits to the field of view that can be expressed without using something like maybe an Oculus Rift or some type of VR headset where you can actually get a standard field of view for humans. So without having the ability to properly express human vision, it's kind of important to be able to have that third-person view in a manner that you know, so that you can do this. Now there are people who are talking about, okay, well, let's just disable it in when I say first person, what I mean is if you're not in a ship, then you don't get third-person view. And, you know, that kind of makes sense. There are a couple of instances where you need third-person when you're in your suit, and that has to do with when those little blocks are left hanging. I've had instances where they're so small that the only way I can mine them is to go into a third-person view with my hand drill, because they are very, very hard to not only see, but get the drill head on. That's the only instance where, to me, third person is needed when you're in a suit. But if we can fix that so that those little rocks aren't left as, you know, an immovable, undestroyable object, then we'd be okay, you know? I mean, if my ship bumps into the side of an asteroid, and it's a very thin piece of asteroid, then my ship should be able to cause enough, let's just call it damage, to destroy the rock before my ship explodes. It should not take a full-on explosion. But again, we're talking with physics, so what? The size of the piece of rock has a specific value of force needed to destroy it, and then is it destroyed, or does it become a loose entity like of stone or ore, as though you had mined it? You know, where do you draw the line? I don't know. That's not up to me. If it were, I would have to come up with some type of an answer, but it's not up to me, so I'm not going to put a whole lot of thought into it right now. But if I have an epitome, then I'll be sure to share it. Let's see, so we need to back out of here. And you do need to be careful. Right now, I'm running into like part of the asteroid here, as well as the part of the Gatling cannon. So sometimes you need to be careful when you're flying. I've actually flown in reverse in my grinding ship, which does not have an enclosed cockpit. And I've actually hit my head on a rock so hard that I died. So you definitely need to be careful when you're out flying around. Alright, so probably I'll finish the Gunflower, and that'll be the end of the stream session. Of course, I'm the only one watching my own stream, but that's okay because you guys don't really know that I'm streaming yet. Once I get these videos posted to YouTube and you guys can see that I'm streaming, then you know, you guys please go ahead and join me on the stream when you can. If you can't join a live stream, do not fret. I will make sure to transfer it all to YouTube, because if I've got content, I don't want it to only be available to those that can view a stream at what may be odd hours of the day for them. I've got viewers all over the United States, Canada, Australia, Africa, all over Europe. So I realize that the time I stream may be the middle of the night for you. It may be when you're, you know, you're at the office, or, you know, whatever it happens to be. I don't want to limit it, so I will make sure that I transfer all of my streaming content over to YouTube so that you guys can watch it. Because I definitely want the comments from you guys on what I'm doing. So I think we're about ready to. Oops, I think I ran into that too. I think I'm about ready to open this up so you can kind of see how it works. So I need to give it a name. I'm not going to worry too much about the name right now. So I'll probably just do. I'll make this one Gunflower 2 because that's Gunflower 1 over there. So what I'm going to do is I need to find the pistons here. So let's go to the DSI SAT, and we're looking at the pistons. And which one is it? It's probably going to be this one or this one because they're white, and that means that it is a part of the DSI SAT. So what I can do is I can show it on the HUD because I've got an antenna connected. So when I do that, I can see that over here this is DSI Piston 6. So the one called Piston 6 is my base for the Gunflower. So now we go back into here. So Piston 6, we're going to give it a name. So I told you it's going to be Gunflower 2, so it's going to be GF02 for Gunflower 2. And this is going to be the base piston. And I'll probably give that an XYZ designation later. But, oh, and I don't know if you guys can see that, but it looks like Tofsky wants to do a recording today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse that piston, and you're going to see it lift up. Let's see. Should be able to. So I don't know if you guys can see me communicating through Steam there or not. I'll view it and see if it comes up on the stream. So anyway, so there goes that piston. So that is the base piston of the Gunflower. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down. Oops. Need to hop out of here because I need to take a look up here and see what did not get done. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and open up the rest of the Gunflower. And, you know, which way is gravity going? Gravity is going not the direction that I want it to be going. Okay, that's fine. Oh, you know what? I should be able to stand right on this. There we go. So there's our Gunflower. So the next thing we need to do is we need to find the other pistons. So when we go into here, go into the SAT, and we're looking at pistons. So we know which one this one is. So we no longer need that one shown on the HUD. and the other one was piston 4, so we don't need that one either. So I think we're probably looking at these blue ones here.